since DU's ownership, we've incorporated our rotational grazing system to try to bring back some of the grasses and the warm season grasses and get better production on the land, both for wildlife and for the livestock production. We put in some tanks where we did not have water during times of drought other than dugouts. We had a well that was established that was already on the property that didn't have any lines coming from it. So we put in at least 5 miles of water line below the frost line to get water access to those points that otherwise wouldn't have had water during times of extreme drought. We just wanted to make the entire property good for cattle and duck production, regardless of what the environmental conditions. We basically wanted to drought-proof it for as much as we could for cattle production. Put in miles of cross fencing to get a hold of a better management for increasing the grass component here. When DU first bought the property, there was a large amount dominated by Dakota bluegrass and smooth brome with the rotational grazing aspects that we've incorporated. You can see the big blue stem and all of the native forbs from your lead plant to your black-eyed Susan, purple coneflower, purple coneflower and purple prairie clover, all nutritious, good indicators of great range condition that's great for wildlife and for cattle production. So that was part of the reasoning that we installed the cross fencing, just to get a better diversity of land, of the plants out in the landscape here, which is great for cattle and great for wildlife. Everything from the casing up is pretty much new. So. So with the different rotational grazing practices that we've put in place here, we've increased the habitat, the density of the vegetation, the composition of the vegetation out here, the species richness, and the ducks have responded accordingly. When we first purchased the property and started monitoring ducks, we found a nest about every 10 acres or so. Now that we have everything, all of our management practices in place, we're finding 2 to 3 times that number of birds on the landscape. So a good management for your livestock herd is going to equate to increased duck production and other wildlife production. Pheasants and grouse and deer and lots of other songbirds out here too. From the nest success perspective, we had about a 5% increase in duck nest production over the course of the last 5 years with this rotational grazing system that we've implemented. From the duck production point of view, it's very important to have large contiguous tracts of grasslands, and some of those areas are becoming less and less common. This property here is in a large area of contiguous grasslands. There's 9,500 acres just on this property alone, and ducks do a lot better, and most other game birds do better when we have large intact tracts of grass. If we break these up and have smaller parcels with cropland interspersed, that increases the number of predators in the grasslands, and they eat more duck nests and ducks themselves, and that's a lot less production on the landscape. So just having a large property like this, intact native grasslands, is about as productive as you're going to get for ducks and other wildlife on the landscape. Compared to other properties, the Goebel Ranch has a very elaborate watering system, kind of drought proofing the ranch here in times of extreme dry conditions. We have great cross fencing, which allows an operator to run different herds on the property. If they're a registered operator, has a registered herd, you can have bulls in separate pastures, far removed, so you don't have to worry about hurting your genetics. And if an operator wanted to run both yearlings and cow-calf pairs, you have that capacity to do the same thing on the same property due to the amount of cross fencing we have here. And it's just a bigger tract of land. There's just not a lot of tracts of land that I'm familiar with that have this capacity to do the different kinds of management that you'd like to with this kind of native plant diversity out here. And the production on these soils is pretty amazing. With the proper management, you can certainly continue to increase your production on these acres. From when we first acquired the property, we've increased carrying capacity by over 15% for the pounds or the number of livestock we've put on the property. And in wet years like this, you could probably even stock it higher than we have. Yeah, being a ranch manager here for the last 10 years, it's just been an extreme pleasure to have a blank palette and be able to manage the land, to see it come back, just to have that vigor to get back to a native stand where it's producing both livestock and wildlife almost at maximum capacity. It's just been a great pleasure to be involved with that, and seeing this project evolve from the bottom all the way to the final product here. So it's been an excellent opportunity.